It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B-Ron. Alongside me is my co-host for the morning, Yells. Good morning, man. It's a great day. We are here and we got some recaps of games to go through because we had our first set of games over the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I want to let y'all know B-Ron's feeling a little under the weather. So
But
if he sounds a little groggy, if he starts sounding a little like CM Punk, y'all forgive him.
yeah, from a little bit on the weather, but we're going to try and get through this as much as we possibly can this morning.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Let's jump right into things, shall we? First, recap here under our belts. We got SimWorld Italy taking on SimWorld Europe, and this was a very fun game for both of these teams. And here way to start things off.
Yeah. They really look. We're showing some highlights here. SimWorld Asia Pacific may not have won this game, but
No,
there was a guy named Leonardo Fields who went to work in this one. I think he had around 7 blocks.
yep,
What here? Seven blocks, 11 boards, 16 points. People were talking about triple double right out the gate.
yeah,
Did not
it was
get it
close.
done.
He was so close.
He was so close. But Europe on the other side looked exceptionally good. I mean, Carlos Buffini, 13 points. Ty Merca exploded with 17 points. Andre Ivanov, didn't have the huge game everyone thought he would have, but exceptionally efficient. 12 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks. B-Ron. Quite a showing here. Europe won this with
Yeah,
74-59. But what do
yep.
you take away from this game?
You said Ivanov didn't have the game people expected him to have. I don't know what more you could expect. Double double. We also had 5 assists in there too. They Europe had 2 players get double doubles, Zoldorn and Ivanov. If I don't know what do you want these kids to do? Get 100 points in a game?
I don't.
That's a
Yeah,
good
that's
game,
what
man.
people want. That's what people
Great
want.
game.
In 32
That's a
minutes,
great
they're
game.
wanting to see 40 points, 30 points, whatever. But look, yeah, I mean, 20 minutes, 12 points, 10. But look, we've already said it, and he's gonna be great at the
He
next
is.
levels. This Ivanov kid, Ty Merker really surprised me. A lot of people thought he was gonna come in and be, a facilitator, small stature, just a tad bit. But what he was able to do was come out and show some offensive prowess. 17 points, 8 of 16. He had the green light. They were not inefficient shots. They were very efficient shots that he was taking. He
Yeah,
finished with
exactly.
17 points and he led them past APAC. Kai Newby, by the way, dropped 18 as we expected he would. Leonardo Fields looking exceptionally good. Want to note here that Sun Chung Gu did not play in that game. Again, only available for home games. So are you concerned about APAC at all? Are you concerned about them playing without Sung Chung Gu? Or was it just the first game of the season, B-Ron?
That's gonna be the theme of the day for me. Just first game of the
Fair
season.
enough.
Just first game of the season. Let's go to our next one though, shall we? That was SimWorld Atlantis and SimWorld Middle East playing against each other. That was a non broadcasted game, but still got some clips for you here regardless, man. It was another one of those where, SimWorld Atlantis that came out hot and they stayed hot the entire game pretty much. SimWorld Middle East, they had a little fourth quarter explosion. They scored the most points of the game in that fourth quarter, 22 points in the fourth quarter. Still wasn't enough. Atlantis got the win 70-62.
Al Noor. Al Noor, though. Son Al Noor looked really good. 23 minutes, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Filled up the stat sheet. Guy looked good. I know everyone wants to dump on SimWorld Middle East in SimWorld Prep about if they're going to be able to get the job done this season or not.
Yeah.
But they did not look bad. They came out and they competed. They looked
They
pretty good.
competed, yeah.
Dara Storm defensively was getting after it. Morboskis, pedestrian 9 points. But it's a prep game. Like, again, what more do you want? What more do you want from me? It's my
Yeah.
Tyrese impression. I've been laughing at that all weekend. By the way, kids, never get on don't go to social media to cry. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, Al Noor, he looked good, and so did Ghassan Al Azmi. 11 minutes, 10 points. On the other side of that though, B Ron, Atlantis, Coach K,
Yeah.
doing it again. Have we ever heard of Bjarni Janssen before? I think
If we
some people
haven't,
have.
I'm sure we gonna learn I'm gonna learn how to say his name right because
Yeah.
that's a tough one. Every time we
We're
look at it.
going to learn. He led them in scoring at 18 points. Kenneth Klum
Yep.
went crazy from 3, 4 of 6 from deep, 14 points. And Sean
Deontay
O'Reilly,
Smith,
the redhead
16.
with the mutton chops. What an interesting look that kid has. But he's absolutely terrifying on the inside. And
Yeah.
Keontae Smith back to
Yep.
business. 2 blocks, 7
16
boards.
points,
Yeah.
7 rebounds. It was a solid game.
You
Solid game.
are you thinking Atlantis? What are you expecting from them this year?
Uh a lot more than I first thought, I guess. Coming and looking at this performance again, it's just one game, so we can't read too much into things after one game, and I'm not gonna do that here. But I liked what I saw, and if they can keep this level of play up throughout the majority of the season, they could be in for a decent finish in that intercontinental division or region.
Okay. Hey, I'm with you. There
Yeah.
were more games.
Oh yeah. Oh
Let's
yeah.
talk about them.
Yeah.
We had Philadelphia heading into Gotham, right?
Yeah.
And Gotham got the break speed off of them. they got beat down 86 to 58.
Really did, man.
They really did. Philadelphia took off in the second half of this game,
Yep.
where they really just kind of went crazy. Nas Hall did not score in the first half, is what I believe in, and he finished the game with 22 big points. All coming in that second half. J.C. King, 12 points. Azanda Mazaka with 10 points. And Jermaine Owens just looking monstrous in the middle with a double-double. No double-double with 12 rebounds, 4 blocks, saying, hey, what does Gotham have for us? On the other side, Keyshawn Coulson, 16 points in just 11 minutes. Majere Williams, only 2 points, only 6 shot attempts. Maybe he was trying to move the ball there. Do you have any concerns? Do you have any concerns? And I know we're going to get to that, but the Gotham didn't look great here. Coach Moolah came in talking some of that hot talk in SimWorld Prep. First game of the season, but it wasn't pretty. What are your thoughts here?
No, it definitely was not pretty, but I will say that Philadelphia, they're a strong defensive team. They were that last season once Coach Reese came in and took over. They clearly expanded upon that during the offseason, and now here in the first game, they showed exactly what I expected to see coming into the season was a strong defensive side of the ball. We saw it was hard to stop Majere last season. He was really the focal point of that offense. So to hold him to 2 points and the 3 assists, Orlin Mock was doing the same defensively. So
Yeah,
I'm
don't
not.
forget that. He put some clamps
Yeah,
down on Majere,
yeah,
and that's what he
yeah.
does.
So I'm not concerned yet, obviously, because again, Philadelphia is a strong defensive team. So I'm not surprised. We'll see if they continue to struggle against teams that maybe aren't as known for their defense. Then I might have to start ringing some bells over here. But for now, I'm good. I'm chilling.
I feel you. I feel you. We had the next matchup we're going to go over here, had people just conflicted, praising, and some frustrated, and I totally understand it because it was time to raise the flag.
It sure was.
Flag taking the OGs taking on the defending champion, Beasts of the East. Cooper Flag looked like a monster. He did not have the highest scoring output night of any players, and we'll get to that. But 25 points, 3 blocks, 11 of 17 shooting, and more importantly, it looked like he could do what he wanted on that court when he wanted. I've never seen Cooper Flag out there taking step-back threes, and I'm sure we have that coming here in one of these packages. That's not something I expected to see in his repertoire, but be wrong. Sometimes when you're cooking, you're just cooking. I don't know if that's something we're going to see all season, but when you got it going, man.
I expect it. I expect 100%. I feel like there was a lot of talk about Cooper when he first joined, about having to earn my respect and swinging and not being a starter and all that kind of stuff. Y'all hating, man. Y'all are just hating. I'm gonna say it right now. Say what you want, but I think y'all are just hating on the kid because he's real good.
Look at that move there.
Yeah.
Drop
we
step
all
fade
know.
away.
Look, as someone who's an Orioles fan, I hate the Yankees. Why? Because they win so much. They were winning so much. So now I'm in relishing in that they're not winning. But bring it back here. Cooper Flag looked impressive, and I expected that. I hope that everyone else is taking notes on how to stop him. And if you can do that, we'll talk about that too.
Look at that block.
For now,
Big block. He played defense there too. I mean, he
yep.
really had it going. I will say a couple of notable points here, so it's not all about Cooper Flag, because it absolutely is not. Early game in the season, beats the East figuring things out. Levin Cutler did not assert himself. That was a concerning mark for me. I didn't see him look totally aggressive. I don't know if he was, starstruck under the lights playing with Cooper Flag the first game of the season, or the way the expectations. Defensively, he didn't even look great, as we see JoJo Kearney there getting baptized. Good Lord. And then on the other side, for a positive note for Beast of the East, Tyree Moy.
Yeah.
That young man looks like it. I mean,
Moy and Lucy Thompson.
Yeah. Tyree Moy, though, I'm gonna stick there for a minute before we get to it. I think, what is he, 6'8", 6'9", whatever he is, and he can shoot and handle that ball. He reminds me of all the hype that kind of coming in this season. Everyone feels about Cooper Flag to have that level of skill at that size, but he's got touch. I'm not comparing him for everyone's like, oh, what's the phrase? The glaze. We're doing our job. We're talking about this kid has great potential.
If it was you, you'd want the attention. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, B-Ron. We got more to talk about here, though.
We sure do. Queen City Kings and the Yacht Club. Another one of those where I picked the Yacht Club to win. I think you also picked them to win. I can't remember if you did or not, but they did not win. Queen City did end up winning that game. That was a 85-71 win. They went into the Palm Center and got the W there. And Marco Jacobs, it looked really, really impressive. And I wasn't sure it was from him, but Sky Durant led the way. 20 points for them, 6 rebounds. Again, they had Carter Fields also 15 points, 8 rebounds. Nick Hugo 10 and 11 rebounds, double for Nick Hugo. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in double digits for points. Renzo Bryant, Sky Durant, Carter Fields, Nick Hugo, and Marco Jacobs. That's insane production offensively.
Offensively, they looked phenomenal. And I would say the other part of that for me personally, B-Ron, is, obviously they spread the ball around. You just highlighted it there. Their tempo looked good. I like how Coach Skinny is getting, a little bit from everybody on this team. Kind of wonder how it would merge, or how these teams would mesh when you have that level of talent on a team.
Right.
But there's a lot of ball movement. The ball did not stick. The up-tempo game, one of the higher scoring games of the night, at 85 points. I love that. But on the other side, you know what I love? I love defense. I sound like Maestro now. I love defense. They held Yacht Club to just 42% from the field. They were turning them over, which I thought was huge. Excuse me. They were turning them over, which I thought was huge. They made the game hard. And one of the things is you're not gonna generally outrun Yacht Club, but they defended them so that they could outrun them. And I thought the defense there looked excellent. On the Yacht Club side, though, Josiah Cook, 14 points, 8 boards, 2 blocks. Young man looked pretty good.
They certainly weren't lacking for offense either. I'm going to cut you off, but they certainly were not lacking for offense either. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. Also had 5 players having double-digit nights. Like you said, Josiah Cook was one, Darren Cruz, Garrett Hart, Xavier Pope, and Trey Willis. All those kids had double-digit points.
To that point, though, this game could have went very differently. I think Xavier Pope showed some major rust. He shot 6 of 19 from the field. He missed a lot of shots that we're used to seeing him hit. I mean, some real gimmies. So could it been, there's obviously great defensive effort there. I want to give hats off to the Queen City Kings. But I also want to say Xavier Pope was not looking himself. So I think you guys see them on the schedule. I think Queen City Kings will see Yacht Club on the schedule again, and it may be a much different looking game at that time, though. But
absolutely.
Excellent matchup. Let's keep it moving, though, here, B-Ron.
Yeah. Yeah. So my shocker of the night, honestly, or from Friday, Indy and Lone Star. Indy ended up winning that game, 64-56. This is a surprise to me just because, again, we talked all offseason about Arthur Lattimore and the new look Lone Star and how we thought they'd be one of those top-tier teams. And in my I said it all the time last season, but there's some games you're just supposed to win. And sure, Indy did add Dylan Harper and JJ Hoop. There are a lot of players we don't know about on that Indy Pipes team.
Yeah.
We knew about Dylan Harper, but even with him there, I still thought that this was a Lone Star win. It did not end up being that at all. So thoughts on that? Was that as much of a surprise for you as it was for me?
Dylan Harper being a dog? No,
No, the overall win for Indy
no.
being a surprise.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they were able to pull the win out. That they won. Yeah, I mean just simply because I picked Lone Star. Arthur Lattimore, only 10 shot attempts, 13 points. We know he was the supreme focal point in Cascadia, where the ball may be spread around a little bit here. Lone Star, maybe a little different look, but I think I think the coach here with this team has some figuring out, like what we just talked about with Queen City Kings. The style of play allowed Queen City Kings to get up and down the court and get everyone involved. The Lone Star, they slow it down a little bit. You run it through Arthur Lattimore, you run it through a few other players on that team. So I think figuring out where people are going to get the ball and what spots is going to take some time.
Yeah.
We saw Nene Gibson only 7 points. 3 of 11, not a very good showing. Ronnie Shanahan looked very good, 10 points, 5 of 10. But there were some other kids there. Mardon, didn't really get to see him get out on the break and finish in transition, which I think is going to be one of his key points. Trey Bird, we didn't get to see him in spots getting only 1 3-point attempt, and he's a big-time shooter, so we didn't get to see him in particular spots.
Right.
Aiden Weaver, not a whole lot of minutes. And then lastly, I would say defensively, I think what was missing for a Lone Star is Mason Green only played 11 minutes. And he was a key component to their defense, to Lone Star's defense last season. So that's on that side. On the Indy Stripes side,
Mr. Reliable offensively too.
he's not out there dribbling all over the court doing anything fancy. He led the league in field goal percentage last season.
Yeah.
And that means he knows when to roll to the rim and he's able to finish and he defends at the paint. He's Rudy Gobert, except for he finishes and he's not hated, the most hated. There's a place for that guy in prep basketball at 7 feet tall. So I find that interesting. On the other side, Dylan Harper looked great as expected. Didn't get in his facilitating bag. Looked like he wanted to come out and show he could score. 21 points, 10 of 20. Very efficient from the field. Didn't see a whole lot of Red going crazy. Wasn't needed. JJ Hoops looked pretty good. He wasn't very efficient. He missed some shots, but he looks like he'll find his way. And then Leah Larick, I think I'm saying his name right, 10 points, 17 minutes. He was getting to the rack is what he was doing.
Yeah, it was.
So I think Indy is going to be a surprise team for whatever reason that no one had them on the radar when we talk about Dylan Harper. I don't know, because people, the loudest in the room is normally who gets mentioned. They've been fairly quiet, but I think their play on the court is going to spell it all out.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're going to keep it moving.
Bay Area, though. Yeah. You got it. The nightcap, man.
This
really fun game, the rivalry game. We all expected this one to be a tough one, and boy, was it. But Cascadia ended up winning 83-75. Kevon Jackson, the dunk god, the hot step god, whatever, in that win for them. So fun. 31 points. She went bananas in that game on Friday night, man.
Yeah, he's a dog. He's a dog. I don't want to say Big Bob's right, because I don't ever want to make him feel good about him being right, because then he just goes crazy. But yeah, Dunk God looked unstoppable. He was playing at point guard. I don't know if he was just excited about the matchup. This was supposed to be all about Trey Hyman and Tyree Wells, and it just became the Kevon Jackson show. Very quickly, he got to the basket. He knocked down a 3, I believe. 6 big-time dunks he had in the game. He was defending. He had 3 assists. He was just very aggressive. Tyree Wells, like I said, didn't see a whole lot from him. He was 5 of 7 from the field. The offense didn't have to go through him, though, so there's not much to make of him not having a huge night. Jason Holbrook had a pretty good showing as well. Daniel Irvin had a decent showing, but it was Kevon Jackson's night. He did his thing. On the other side, Trey Hyman, 20 points, got involved in the pick and roll. Dom Hardaway looked very good, and so did Sean Hyman, as anticipated. But this game came down to every big bucket, and it was Kevon Jackson getting to the rack to get whatever he wanted for the big bucket. And you got what you got on Cascadia, man? Are they the real deal?
I think they're better than they were last season. I think they have a lot more athleticism with Kevon Jackson being there than they did last season. I think Irvin, McGrady, Tyree. I think there's a lot of talent here. I hope they can put it all together this season and be what I thought they were going to be last season in terms of making the race to one. Even though everyone's going to this year, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Hey, not a whole lot to say there other than the dunk god may just be the hoop guy right now. I'm looking forward to see more from Bay Area, though. I'm excited. I have no concerns. It was a good matchup. Everybody loses games. That's the thing to remember. Everyone makes a big deal out of stuff. I don't know what teams ever went undefeated in the pros. I know it's happened sometimes in prep basketball, but this is the best of the best. Nobody's going undefeated here. I'll make that wager right now.
Yeah, no, we definitely don't see that happening. One here we don't have. I don't think we have any highlights for, but Heartland was able to beat Beyond the Arch 59-52. Close game there at the Riot House. Really close game there, man. The Zombie Stars, like I said, they were able to win that one, and Benari James led the way. 20 points for him. Jaquan Johnson was able to play in this first game. Ended up with 10, 5 rebounds as well. Solid night for the newcomer to SimWorld Prep. Bernard James, again, a returning member, played on Indy last season. Now is with Heartland. They had a good performance over there for Beyond the Arch. Trying to find themselves after Tyson Simpson. Johan Novajovic came in and immediately 12 points, 5 rebounds in that game.
6 of 18.
6 of 18, yeah. We know that he's gonna get his shots off for good or bad.
How many assists did he have, B-Ron?
One.
One assist. The ball's in his hands a lot. I think you have to figure some other things out. I don't want to take a whole lot off of this Coach Storm out in Indy last season. The question was, why was Noah Jovic coming off the bench? It's only one game. Why did we not see the ball in his hands more? He's going to have to learn to move the ball. He's going to have to learn to not just worry about getting his shot up. And I think, this was only the first game of the season,
right.
But it showcased a lot because you have some guys on that team that are known to pass. You have some offensive options there for you to get up 18 shots, and the only other person to get up double-digit shots is being Nick Bowie. Daniel Ori only getting one shot attempt is concerning for me.
Yeah, definitely agree with that, especially for him, the kid, his caliber, the way he can shoot the ball. He needs more shots. But speaking of shots going up and all of that, there was a lot of that going on in the Saturday game. SimWorld South America and SimWorld Oceania, 90-80. Oceania ended up winning that game, and man, offensive explosion from both teams. Bro Bocamp and Damian Luffy combined for 44 points between the two of them. Insanity. And then Giovanni Caldwell, 18, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for him. Led the team in assists. 2 steals as well for Conwell, not Conway. Conwell. Man, that was really impressive from both these teams offensively.
Yeah. Great game. Great game. That's a great game. Damian Luffy's gonna be a problem, man. I know people was like expecting him to score 50. It was, again, not necessary. He went off for 20. Jarrell Bocamp, good Lord, 24 points. They looked like they could get. Granted, they were playing SimWorld South America, who is not, the top tier defensive team, but they looked like they in full control of their game to get whatever shots they wanted. The
Right, yeah.
people, the
That's the scary part.
players, yeah, and I think this is important. This is the first game of the season, and it's the first game on the slate that I was able to watch where I said the players had clear definition of getting each player that has a specific role got shots in the areas where they want them. Damon Luffy was working in that mid post high post area to get whatever he wanted. Jarrell Beaucamp was getting to the rack in the pick and roll. Latrell Mitchell was able to free up for three whenever he needed to. And Yvonne Conwell, the utility man, 18 points. You already had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks,
Yeah.
7 to 12, no turnovers.
Doing
God,
everything, man.
good
Doing
Lord.
everything.
No turnovers. He filled in the gaps and gave them whatever they needed. The team actually looks very scary to me. They look. It is not a one man show
Serious, and
with
I thought they were
Luffy.
gonna look because I was a little unsure about Oceania coming into the season.
I
So
don't know
hopefully,
why. Not a one man show. Not a two
yeah,
man show. Looks like in the words of the freakishly tall Dikembe Mutombo, total team effort. That's what it looked like, and this looks like it's going to be scary. But we had some other Saturday games, man, didn't we?
yeah, we did, we sure did. Two more. One of them, the other one was the Rocky Mountain Monsters taking on SimWorld Africa, and that was again another one of those fun offensively fun games for both teams. 78-69. Rocky Mountain ended up getting the win in that one, and again, they had a bunch of players, but one of them, the newcomer to SimWorld Prep, Ink 29 points. 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Young man was cooking 55% from the field overall. Man, he was playing insane out of his mind. Justin Bell, Bonde Thunder also 16 points was a last minute commit to Rocky Mountain, and he showed out in his Simmer Prep debut as well. 16 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal. Uh, he shot 58% from the field. Rocky Mountain looked real good too.
They
Rocky
did.
Mountain looked real good.
They
They sure
did.
did.
So is Dink Pate gonna continue to be a 29-point scorer?
That's a good question.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I
I
don't
don't think
think
so.
so either. I think it's more of a case of both him and Thunder being new to the league, and people not really having any game tape on them. Because again, pickup games and game tape are two different things. So once you start looking at the game tape, you can start to plan for stopping those kinds of players. I'm not saying he won't ever have one of those again, obviously, because he could, but I don't think we'll see him average, 20 points, 20 points in a game for the season.
No, because he plays on a
I could
team
be
with
wrong, but
Justin
we'll
Bell.
see.
He plays on a squad with Justin Bell. This
Yeah.
is Justin Bell's team. Let's not lose sight of any of that for everybody out
Right.
there. Oh,
Yeah.
Dink Payne is the new. It's Justin Bell's team.
Relax.
Relax, calm, cool your jets. Dink Payne got 20 shot attempts up. Africa did not do a good job of defending the paint. They did not do a good job of defending the pick and roll. Deep Pate, got the shot attempts. Took the shot attempts that were available to him. He got 20 of them off because of that defense. What they allowed him. Justin Bell fell back because it's all about the wins and not the stats. Bunde Thunder. Look, man, I'm just calling them Big Thunder. I don't know what else to say. 16 points based on the same thing. So Justin Bell kind of got to run decoy out there. Lucas Banks. Look, the team looked a lot like it did last year as far
Yeah.
as somebody got to go off, but it was another team effort. On the other side, Africa, I will say they looked better than they looked last year. We saw they can hit an outside shot. Even though I'm saying what I'm saying, defensively, they looked decent. They did not look bad, and I think they're going to be competing. Kola Abdul Rauf, shout out season high. I know it's only 2 nights in, but 7 assists with the ball in his
Yep.
hand. And Pierre Dupont with a team high 21 points. So
Yeah,
big
yeah.
stuff out there.
A little bit of surprise before we move on to the next one here, but Ethan Letterman, 28 minutes, 8 points, 3 rebounds, no assists, 0 for 3 from 3-point land as
Didn't get
well. A
one to
little bit of
fall.
surprise for
That
me.
won't continue. At least he's getting the
No,
shots though.
no, it won't. It won't. Right. He's getting shots. That's the big thing for me. Is he's getting shots. And as long as you keep taking those shots, you're gonna make a lot of those.
Yeah.
I feel like. So the final game of the first 2 days of SimWorld Prep play, Showtime Basketball taking on SimWorld Latin America. Showtime got the win, 62-55, and this was a bit more of a competitive game than I expected. But I will say Richard Hennessy for Latin America, he looked right at home, and continuing where he left off last season for them was one rebound shy of a double double, 10 points, 9 rebounds. Wasn't able to get that done, but they had a lot of good on their side. But also for Showtime, pretty balanced across the board for the most part. Israel Vines 11, Cole Webb team high 16 points led the way for them. Also, both Vines and Webb 8 assists between the both of them. Both of them were spreading the ball around, and that's what you love to see at this level, in my personal opinion. You guys were unselfish.
Yeah, for sure. Showtime, different identity this season. I think everybody wants to see Cole Webb go crazy like Bronny James did. Oh, he's got an average 25, 8, and No.
Yeah.
He came out, he played under control. 2 for 8 from deep, but 7 of 16 overall. Not bad at all. He did not turn the ball over. He did rack up 4 assists, and he led the team in scoring. Israel Vines getting his opportunity to shine. He did what he needed to do in the places he needed to do it. Jarius Bradley in the paint looked very good. Nick Moss in limited action played under control, and Bryce James playing great defensively. I think the identity of this team is totally different. One of the key things that I saw that stood out was Xavier Rubin Matthew. 17 minutes, 7 boards, 3 big-time blocks. He was a defensive stalwart on the inside there for SimWorld Latin America. Couldn't get it going. They have a lot of big bodies, which they didn't have last season. But he was in the middle just giving them hell, to be totally honest. So Showtime looked really good, man.
Yeah, they did. But to talk back about Latin America real quick before we move on, they had 3 players. All of them almost had double doubles. Cesar Castaneda, Xavier Hawkins, and Richard Hennessy. 8, 8, and 9 rebounds for all 3 of them together. So they were all grabbing boards. And you talk about the impact that Ruben Matthew had on the game. Hawkins, Castaneda, and Hennessy all had their own impacts on the rebounding department for them. So they did really well getting to the glass and grabbing rebounds when they were able to.
I think they're going to compete this year. That may be something I end up saying about every team, but they looked very competitive. Xavier Hawkins looked really good. For a small guy, relatively small, he's out there on the glass, and he looked like a leader on the team. They look like they're going to put something together here this season. So I'm excited to see that. To be totally honest.
Very well could. They very well could. Do you want to keep going, man? We're done recaps. I know we got a little bit more to go through here on the show. Do you want to keep going?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's do it. Let's do it. Then Cooper Flagg, man, we spoke about it a minute ago, but he really showed his dominance in that first game, and I don't know. Again, I don't know what people were expecting from him in terms of like being humbled in his first game, but I think he did a lot. I think he's the one who did the humbling, and I said that when he joined and everything, he was the one who's going to do the humbling for a lot of people. I think he did that. Did he earn your respect? Does he have your attention now?
I see what you did there. Yeah, and this being the last topic of the show, I will just say my part is he should. Like, everyone wants to tear someone down. Everyone talks, the media tears people down. No, you guys, the fans, the players, you guys tear people down. When there's hype's built for a reason. And y'all saw it firsthand. We heard the complaining come out once he got going. Once he hit the court, and that game was said and done, we heard the complaining. Do I think he's going to be the guy in SimWorld Prep? Yeah. I do.
Yes.
I've said it before the season started.
This season, yes. Absolutely.
I think Dylan Harper's in the running. I think after watching Trey Hyman in that first game, I think so. We haven't seen Jafet Towns yet. Yeah, but Cooper Flagg is 6'9". He's 6'9". That
Yep.
matters. That skill set at that
Yep.
height. So I think he's going to continue to be dominant. I don't know if it'll be like what we saw in game one. That is a one game sample size. I mean, he was
Right.
step back faders to I know he's skilled, but that looked like his entire career highlight package rolled up in one game. If he's motivated, if he stays motivated like that all
Yep.
season though, I mean, it could be scary. But there's other guys
It'll
out there,
be
but I'm definitely impressed.
definitely impressed. Look, we are all impressed by the first couple of days of action here at SimWorld Prep. Keep it locked though, because there's more games, long season ahead of us, and we'll be here to go through all of it with you. Stay tuned for the rest of the season, of course. As always, you guys will remember SimWorld is the only place where you can see the game, be the game.
Whoa, whoa,
We'll
whoa,
see.
whoa, whoa, B.
Oh,
Ron. I want to throw
oh,
this out there. I
yes,
cut you out
yes.
in the mid tag.
In the mid
You
tag.
got you guys are out there running these games. You want to get your stock up. We're looking for guests on the show. You ain't got to
Yeah,
show your face. You can call in. I know you kids got school. Get on the show. Make your voice
yeah.
heard. You want people to know your brand. Get it out there for the schools to see. You get it out there for some of the pro levels. We're looking for guests on the show. Join us so that people can hear you, see the game, and be the game.
Yes, sir. We'll see you tomorrow.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld